Hey, welcome back to WOD Doctors. Another video now on better ways to achieve flexibility and move well for CrossFit. In this video, we're going to talk about the missing element in shoulder flexibility, an often overlooked area of muscular extensibility that plays into overhead activities. Going into this lesson, we'll talk about the three bones that are a part of the shoulder complex. We know the humerus plays into the shoulder, the clavicle, and then the scapula, this triangle-shaped bone in the back. All three of these meet and they form what we know as the shoulder. Shoulder flexion is what we're typically thinking about when we talk about shoulder flexibility. Most people in CrossFit are concerned with shoulder flexibility to the extent they can flex the shoulder, bring it back down, Stace, from neutral all the way up to 180 degrees or farther. Come on up again. And as we go through this motion, I'll repeat it several times now, it is completely normal, expected, and even required for the scapula here to upwardly rotate as she flexes the shoulder. Come to the side a little bit and you can actually watch the shoulder blade move on the way up as she goes. Again, this triangle-shaped bone, the position change on the way up. Thanks, Stace. So, when people stretch their shoulders for overhead activity, it usually looks like this. If you come around to the side here, you'll see the scapula has moved a lot with the humerus. Go ahead and show a couple other stretches that are pretty typical. And then the last one.
Right. Wrong arm.
That's okay. But as she goes, that scapula is chasing the humerus whichever direction that it goes. You can rest there, Stace. Now here's a neat thing. Let's bring you back into the shot here. There are muscles that attach between the humerus and the scapula that are often overlooked in that overhead position. So go ahead and flex the shoulder again. Imagine this for a second. If the muscles that go from here at the humerus to here along the scapula, if those muscles are very stiff, then as she goes overhead, the entire scapula moves, maybe more than it's supposed to, and as it moves, we're actually stretching muscles through here more than we would otherwise, and we tend to see a lot of compensatory extension through this part of the spine. So the flexibility of the muscles that go between the humerus and attached to the scapula are the ones that are very hard to stretch on your own because it's difficult to secure this in place as you're bringing this back. You need a partner. You need somebody to help you out with this stretch. And we're going to show you in this video how to mobilize those muscles so you can get to overhead a lot easier. Stace, go ahead and lay down here, young lady. Now, as we set up for this might be done across plyo boxes, this might be done on benches, whatever support surface you have. A plinth, if you're in a more clinical environment. Now, Stacy's going to bring her arm up this way, and I, as a clinician, I'm going to help her out, or I could be her workout buddy. I'm going to help her to stretch the scapulohumeral muscles. I want to have her arm pinned between my side and my arm as much as possible. And then I'm going to use the heel of my hand. I'm going to cup the scapula and drive it toward the spine. I'm giving her support now for the scapular position. Now here, I'm going to maintain as many points of contact as possible. It helps her to relax if I do that as I drive this arm downward. This is one of those stretches that looks more dramatic than it is. It looks more technical or complex than it is. It's really just a matter of me. If you watch my position here, I'm using my elbow supported against my hip, and I'm driving the scapula inward toward her spine to hold it in position. I'm securing her along the border of the scapula as I'm driving the arm to overhead. Good stretch here, Stace? Mm-hmm. Now, it should not be painful. I'd push to the point where she feels a good stretch. It doesn't hurt her. Then we're going to hang out here for 2 minutes on this side, and then we would do 2 minutes on the other side, and then retest and see, can she flex the shoulder more without compensatory extension of the spine. Coming out of the stretch, Stace. By the way, good manual handling skills You verbalize when you're taking them into the stretch, verbalize when you're taking them out of the stretch, and maintain really firm contact the whole time. If you hold them too lightly, they can't relax into the stretch. And from here, after a 2-minute round, we would retest and see, can she keep those abs engaged and achieve more motion this way than she had to start. Thanks, Stace. This has been another episode of WOD Doctors. Thanks, guys. Talk again soon. See ya.